in Hollywood to make sure you can get movies done right. Because sometimes in Hollywood it's about profit, and sometimes it's
I
about
mean, it's really hard to say who has the most power. It's some very powerful entities.
As soon as you finish. Post office, you get 3 hours worth of work and you make it last 8. I did both. I like being the garbage man better. But they weren't bad jobs. It's like
I would say Oprah Winfrey, what people are beginning to do is see you for who you are.
So Ice Cube just dropped a bombshell claiming Oprah is planning to push Denzel Washington out of the spotlight.
What makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of their club. That pisses them off. What club am I talking about? I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with.
In a jaw-dropping twist, rumors hint at a secret power struggle brewing in Hollywood. With Denzel Washington's rising influence and powerful voice, could Oprah see him as a threat to her empire? According to Ice Cube, there are forces trying to bring Denzel down, but he's come out stronger, almost a hero in the eyes of fans.
Yo, Jamie?
Stop doing that bullshit behind the scenes that we
Just how far might Oprah go to protect her position? As Ice Cube reveals these shocking details, fans can't help but wonder, is there more to this Hollywood power play than meets the eye? Stay tuned, because things are about to get even wilder.
At this point of being in this business this long, Hall of Fame, Walk of Fame, you name it, you got all of them, right? Who has the most power in the entertainment industry?
Legendary rapper and actor Ice Cube recently dropped some major hints about a brewing tension in Hollywood, sparking questions about an unexpected rift between Oprah and Denzel. Fans are left wondering what could possibly be driving these two entertainment giants apart. Is it jealousy, hidden secrets, or even plans that could reshape the industry? After decades of dominating Hollywood, these two have built empires. So who holds the real power? With his trademark wit, Ice Cube paints a picture of Hollywood politics, hinting that if Oprah has a plan, she's got it all figured out. He suggests she may be eyeing Denzel's spot in the industry. But why? Cube teases that it's about more than movies or ratings. Think influence, control, legacy. The tension is almost tangible as Ice Cube hints that Oprah's ambition might just be the biggest challenge Denzel's career has ever faced. Things took an even wilder turn when Twitter lit up with claims about a raid on Oprah's Florida home, allegedly tied to global issues. People have even started rehashing her past connections with figures like Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein, adding more fuel to the fire. And if you thought things couldn't get crazier, some tweets even suggested that Oprah had been arrested on suspicion of being involved in some serious crimes. Yep, you read that right. Arrested. Of course, these were just wild rumors, but when the internet starts running wild, it doesn't take long for things to spiral. Oprah, not one to let these things slide, decided to step in and shut it all down herself. She took to Twitter, making it clear, "Just got a phone call that my name is trending and being trolled for some awful fake thing. It's not true." She wrote, completely denying the accusations. "Haven't been raided or arrested, just sanitizing and self-distancing like the rest of the world. Stay safe, everybody." Oprah wasn't about to let the drama take over, especially when things were getting out of control. But while Oprah was trying to clear her name, Denzel Washington wasn't holding back. He's been calling out the industry, exposing some uncomfortable truths, and of course, that has his fans rallying behind him. In fact, many of them believe that Oprah might be at the center of the controversy. When Oprah addressed the rumors, she didn't just deny the accusations, she went further, throwing some shade at Denzel. She talked about doing stupid things like drinking detergent, claiming that it was just her way of acting out when she needed attention. But Denzel's fans weren't buying it. They flooded social media with messages like, "Oprah is the devil incarnate. She needs to go to prison for her human teaking and nefarious business dealings." These aren't just bitter complaints from disgruntled people with axes to grind. The claims, supposedly coming from Hollywood insiders, including powerful figures like Oprah, are raising serious eyebrows. Word on the street is that many of those at the very top, those with the biggest awards, the most fame, and the closest ties to Hollywood's elite, are starting to reveal a side of the business most people never even imagine. Apparently, making it to the top isn't just about talent and hard work. It demands sacrifices that go much deeper. Some say it costs people a piece of their very soul. What's even more chilling is the idea that those who try to leave this world behind seeking a normal life end up paying a steep price. So what's really going on in Hollywood? Rather than directly calling out the big names who pull the strings behind the scenes, Denzel takes a different approach. He starts by addressing his own peers in the industry, calling out what he sees as their delusional arrogance. This opens the door for a much bigger conversation about the secretive, often shady dynamics that run Hollywood and the potential dangers awaiting anyone who dares to tie their future to the powerhouses sitting at the top of the entertainment food chain. Denzel doesn't hold back when discussing the industry's inflated sense of self-importance. He criticizes actors and filmmakers who talk about the difficulty of making a movie. His response? Send your son to Iraq. That's difficult. Making a movie? Relax. It's a sharp jab, pointing out how out of touch many in Hollywood can be with the real struggles people face in the world. To him, it's just a movie, nothing more. But it's not just about the movies for Denzel. He's also openly spoken about the decline in viewership for major Hollywood award shows. According to him, these events have become more about pushing political agendas than celebrating the art of film.
It's like, people say, oh, the difficulty of making a movie. I'm like, send your son to Iraq. That's difficult. It's just a movie. It's like, relax. I don't play that precious nonsense. Oh, we're moving over. Get out of here. Your son got shot in the face. That's difficult. Making a movie is a luxury. It's a gift. It's an opportunity, and most importantly, it's a gift. Obviously, everybody here is talented enough to do that, but don't get it twisted. It's just a movie. It ain't that big a deal.
These are the same people who, as Denzel points out, go on stage to pat themselves on the back while preaching to the public about how to live, all the while living in their luxurious mansions. It's a clear criticism of the hypocrisy that many fans are starting to notice. And if that wasn't enough, the drama only deepens with Taraji P. Henson's revelations in her memoir. She shares a deep sense of betrayal, feeling gutted after learning that Oprah Winfrey, who had been a producer on one of Henson's films, didn't fight for her to receive fair pay. Taraji had looked up to Oprah as a mentor and a role model, but instead she felt abandoned. Oprah, who had remained silent about the matter for a long time, recently spoke out about it in an interview with Variety. She explained that she had no idea about the pay disparities, claiming that she wasn't involved in the budget discussions or salary negotiations.
Whenever I heard that there was something that people needed, I'm not in charge of the budget because that's Warner Brothers. You know, that's the way the studio system works. And we as producers, everybody gets their salary. That's negotiated by your team. And so whenever I heard there was an issue or there was a problem with the cars or there was a problem with the food, I would step in and do whatever I could to make it right. And I believe that she would even vouch for that.
She expressed regret that Taraji P. Henson felt hurt by the situation, but emphasized that it was never her intention to slight anyone. But Oprah's controversial behavior doesn't stop with Taraji. She's also been accused of mistreating other high-profile figures, including the renowned singer Toni Braxton. In an interview on VH1's Behind the Music, Toni opened up about the struggle she faced during her bankruptcy. When she appeared on The Oprah Winfrey Show to talk about her financial woes, Toni expected tough questions, but was blindsided by Oprah's unexpectedly harsh line of questioning. Toni revealed that Oprah's approach left her feeling shocked and hurt, especially during such a vulnerable time in her career.
First of all, I didn't know Gucci made silverware. When you had Gucci silverware and baby grand pianos, and you're used to wearing $5,000 and $6,000 and $7,000 gowns at a time, and spending $500 on a pair of shoes, do you take responsibility for the situation that you're in right now?
100%.
100%.
In this same interview, Toni Braxton was blindsided by what many viewers interpreted as indirect criticism of her spending habits. Oprah's questioning suggested that Toni's extravagant expenditures played a significant role in her financial downfall, particularly her bankruptcy. Toni, clearly taken aback by Oprah's approach, later described her reaction as pure shock, saying, "She was so freaking mean to me, I was in shock." Prior to the interview, Toni had looked up to Oprah with deep admiration, never expecting such a harsh and critical line of questioning.
She's so mean to me. I was in shock.
Do you take responsibility for the situation that you're in right now?
100%.
100%.
100%. I couldn't believe it because I loved her so much. I admired her and looked up to her. And she pretty much
The disapproval didn't stop there. Toni recalls Oprah making remarks that cut deep, such as accusing her of buying Gucci flatware not because she couldn't afford it, but because she didn't want to buy it. Toni felt humiliated by Oprah's comments, recalling how she was made to feel this big, as Oprah implied that her lavish purchases were indicative of poor financial management. Fans who were also shocked by Oprah's harshness began to connect the dots, speculating that Oprah might have played a role in Tony's career struggles. The growing suspicion was further fueled by Oprah's long-standing feud with comedian Mo'Nique. Many believe Oprah's influence contributed to Mo'Nique's career decline, with rumors swirling that Mo'Nique was even on the verge of homelessness due to the impact of their fallout. What added to the skepticism was Oprah's failure to publicly apologize for the harm she allegedly caused Mo'Nique.
Oprah was watching this, what would you tell her?
I would say, Oprah Winfrey, you know what you need to do, and stop hiding behind what you call was negative comments, what you call, oh, I don't even deal with things like that, because what people are beginning to do is see you for who you are.
The mystery behind Oprah's failure to apologize to Mo'Nique seems to come down to something many believe is rooted in Oprah's ego and pride. Back in 2009, Oprah and Tyler Perry teamed up to release the critically acclaimed film Precious, directed by Lee Daniels. The film received rave reviews, and to capitalize on its success, the producers decided to send Mo'Nique on a promotional tour to spread the word. But to Mo'Nique's surprise, things didn't go as expected. She was shocked to find out she'd been blackballed by Hollywood. She confessed, "I had no idea I'd been blackballed because I don't think Hollywood has turned its nose up to me." It was like someone had planned to teach her a lesson for not playing the Hollywood game the way they wanted her to. Things got even more heated when Mo'Nique revealed some shocking details about Oprah's behavior during the Precious promotional campaign. She explained that Oprah had made unreasonable demands, making the whole process even more difficult than it needed to be. Mo'Nique hinted that this was an example of reverse racism, where someone in power was pushing her to bend to their will. But this wasn't the first time Mo'Nique had spoken out about unfair treatment. She had already been vocal about the bullying she had suffered from her older brother Gerald during her childhood, from the ages of 7 to 11. Gerald had intimately mistreated her, and their relationship completely broke down when he was convicted of mistreating another woman and sentenced to 12 years in prison. Then came an unexpected twist in 2010. Oprah invited Gerald onto her show. Even more shocking was that Oprah extended the invitation to Mo'Nique's parents as well. Oprah had even suggested that Mo'Nique participate in the episode, but Mo'Nique made it very clear that she had no interest in joining, even if her brother requested it. But Oprah wasn't done.
Oprah Winfrey called us up, and she said my brother wanted to come on the show.
Your older brother you described as a monster, and he abused
Yes.
from the time you were
7?
How did he abuse? Talking about sexual.
Yes. She said, if you don't want me to have your brother on the show, I will cancel the show. But I wanted to.
For Mo'Nique, this was a painful reminder of the trauma she experienced during her childhood, especially as it seemed her parents were minimizing what she had gone through. Oprah's actions here stung deeply, as it felt like she was putting the spotlight on Mo'Nique's family while brushing aside the real pain that had shaped her life. But Oprah wasn't just in hot water with Mo'Nique. Over the years, she's been hit with serious allegations of hypocrisy and enabling harmful behavior, especially from some of Hollywood's most infamous figures like Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein. Oprah's connections to these individuals sparked public outrage, with figures like Rose McGowan accusing her of covering for them. Rose went on Twitter to call Oprah out, saying, "I'm glad more are seeing the ugly truth of Oprah. I wish she were real, but she isn't." Rose claimed that Oprah's support of people like Russell Simmons and Harvey Weinstein showed she was more about protecting a corrupt system than empowering women. She even referred to Oprah as a fake as they come, using the hashtag #lizard, a stark jab at Oprah's public image. And Oprah's troubles weren't limited to her relationships with women. When it came to men, Oprah had no problem criticizing them either. Take Michael Jackson, for example. In 1993, Michael welcomed Oprah into his Neverland Ranch for an exclusive interview that boosted Oprah's global fame. But after Michael's tragic death, Oprah did a complete 180. She jumped on the bandwagon of the Leaving Neverland documentary, siding with his accusers, Wade Robson and James Safechuck, even though they both had previously testified under oath that Michael had never harmed them. This move shocked many fans who remembered Oprah's close relationship with Michael during his life, and Mo'Nique didn't hold back in calling Oprah out for it. She accused Oprah of tarnishing Michael's legacy and aligning herself with accusers who had once defended him. But Oprah's actions didn't stop there. In 2012, she took things a step further. She aired an exclusive interview with Michael Jackson's daughter, Paris, on her own network. While Oprah claimed the interview was meant to help launch Paris's career, many saw it as a self-serving move to salvage the failing Oprah Winfrey Network. Fans were quick to call her out, even writing a letter to Oprah that slammed her for exploiting Michael's children for ratings. The letter pointed out the hypocrisy of Oprah's actions, saying, "The man you spent the better part of the last decade bashing is now the very man's name and progeny you are using to salvage your sinking network." The letter condemned Oprah for turning on Michael when it suited her, yet now using his grieving children for her own gain. The letter didn't hold back, accusing Oprah of turning Michael Jackson into a villain in the eyes of the public and then using his family's tragedy to boost her own career. Fans couldn't help but feel disgusted by the irony of it all. Oprah had built her career on being a voice for the voiceless, but this felt like a betrayal of everything she had once stood for. But the plot thickened when Oprah remained suspiciously silent about Harvey Weinstein. Despite the growing outcry over his numerous victims, fans noticed the double standard and were quick to point it out. While Oprah had been outspoken about Michael Jackson's accusers, she seemed to avoid speaking up for the women who had bravely spoken out against Weinstein. The silence felt deafening, and it raised questions about why Oprah hadn't taken a similar stance in supporting Weinstein's victims. Then Monique decided to take matters into her own hands. She posted a scathing open letter on social media, calling Oprah out for what she saw as a pattern of treating similar allegations with different levels of attention based on race. In the letter, Monique began by addressing Oprah directly. "Dear Oprah, I felt compelled to write you this open letter after observing the disparity in the way you seem to treat people accused of the same allegations." Monique didn't hold back, referencing an interview Oprah had done on CBS Morning. When Oprah was asked about Harvey Weinstein, she responded by saying,
"What's happening with Harvey Weinstein? I know you posted on Facebook already, but you haven't kind of spoken yet publicly about what's going on."
I think that this is, I'm always trying to look for the rainbow in the cloud, whatever is the silver lining, and this is what I do know for sure.
She also stated, "If we make this all about Harvey Weinstein, then we've lost the moment." Monique pointed out how Oprah's response was vastly different when it came to Michael Jackson, noting Oprah's decision to produce the controversial Leaving Neverland documentary, where two men accused Michael of SA when they were boys. Monique didn't stop there. She also brought up Oprah's involvement in producing a documentary about women accusing Harvey Weinstein of misconduct. The contrast was stark. Oprah had been willing to shine a spotlight on Weinstein's alleged crimes, but when it came to Michael Jackson, someone Oprah had once praised and worked with, she seemed to take a completely different approach. With all that being said, Ice Cube wasn't about to sit quietly while Hollywood's elite continued to pull strings behind the scenes. In a bold move, the rapper-turned-actor dropped a bombshell during a revealing interview with Tucker Carlson that had people talking. Ice Cube claimed that Hollywood's bigwigs cost him a massive $9 million opportunity just because he refused to get vaccinated. And it wasn't just any role. This was a once-in-a-lifetime gig, the kind most actors would kill for. But Ice Cube wasn't backing down. He wasn't trying to lead an anti-vaccine movement or start a political debate. He was standing firm on his beliefs and wanting to be a role model for his children. In the interview, he explained,
"Well, what I'm going to do is go on a Gatekeepers podcast tour. And I'm going to go talk to everybody.
And you can hear the frustration in his voice. It wasn't about rejecting science. It was about trusting his gut and not feeling comfortable with how quickly the vaccine had been developed. It was a 6-month kind of rush job, he said, making it clear that he wasn't ready to take a chance on something that didn't feel right. For Ice Cube, this wasn't just about turning down a paycheck. It was about standing by his principles, no matter the consequences. And those consequences were big. The movie in question, directed by Kei Sakurai and produced by Sony, was set to be a huge hit, with Ice Cube starring alongside Jack Black. It was the kind of role that actors dream of landing, but in the end, Ice Cube was cut from the project, just because he wouldn't conform to the vaccine mandate for the cast and crew. Sony, like many other companies at the time, had set the requirement that everyone involved had to be vaccinated before filming could begin. He revealed that he lost out on a huge $9 million movie role simply because he refused to get vaccinated. On the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast, Cube made his stance crystal clear, saying, "I turned down $9 million. I didn't want to get the jab. F that jab. F y'all for trying to make me get it. I don't know how Hollywood feels about me right now." Strong words from the rapper-actor, no doubt. But here's where things get interesting. Sources close to the situation are claiming that the vaccine issue might have just been a cover. Insiders say that some Hollywood elites, including Oprah Winfrey, may have never wanted Cube in the film to begin with. Rumors are swirling that they were eyeing a different actor for the role, and the vaccine just became the convenient excuse. Now Cube supporters are wondering, was this a personal attack or just the industry's way of trying to control him? Fans have been rallying behind Ice Cube, praising him for standing by his principles. One fan wrote, "Washington and Cube are doing the right thing. I hope they continue to fight for what's right." But this whole situation is leaving a lot of people with more questions than answers. Could this rift between Ice Cube and the Hollywood elite spark an all-out feud? Or is it just two powerful stars navigating the complicated world of Hollywood? One thing's for sure, this drama is far from over. With all the theories and conspiracies flying around, everyone's keeping their eyes peeled for the next twist in this saga. Is Oprah really behind this? Or is it all just part of the never-ending celebrity game? Whatever the case, Ice Cube just added a whole new level of intrigue to the mix, and we're all waiting for what's coming next.